Hey everyone, it's Ometer, and this is my second guest design team project for the Greeting Farm stamps. And I used quite a few of the stamps here. I used this little pony from the Magical Friends. I'm sorry, this little unicorn from the Magical Friends. I used the Happy Birthday to You stamp, but I went ahead and cut off the To You. I also used the Glitter Bomb. You are a Glitter Bomb stamp from the Glitter Bomb stamp set, and this one is the Say Birthday B-Day stamp set. But I went ahead and cut out the You Are and the Of Glory because I wanted just a Glitter Bomb. And I went ahead and also used this Starry Anya, which is in here backwards on my little, on the acetate. But I wanted to create, now the reason why I bought this stamp specifically was to literally make glitter bomb cards to actually send out to someone. So, you know, I went ahead and used sequins on this one. If you guys follow this tutorial and you want to use glitter and everything, I mean, you guys know it'll get everywhere. And that's the most fun part about it. All of these stamps, I will, of course, leave a link to the Greeting Farm store. I just want to say thank you to everybody at the Greeting Farm once again for giving me this opportunity. And Claudie, thank you so much for finding me on YouTube. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys like the card and follow me along for the process video. But let me show you now my card. So those are the items that I used. So this is my card. I went ahead and made a simple A2 size card with I wanted it to look very simple, unassuming, because the surprise is inside. So I went ahead and I made a mask of this little unicorn with the Anya right here. I colored it all with my Copic colors. And I also used this same stamp set of the little clouds from, oh, I forgot one. Oh my goodness. I used the little cloud from the Your Wings. I would use this little cloud from the Pegasus one. This is one of the new releases. And I cut out a mask, and I also made the little shaded background because I wanted it to look like a background. There's a Happy Birthday. Now that's actually stamped on the card because I wanted it to all look like dimensional. And I used this one. This is I think it's like Funky Stitched Borders. It's a gift I got from Carol. Thank you, Carol. And around here. So I colored it all with my Copic markers, and I went ahead and used a glossy accents on the Starry Anya stars and the unicorn's horn. And then I also drizzled a little bit of, well, maybe a lot of it, of this really, really fine glitter, which sticks perfectly to that because I wanted it to have more of a shimmer. Now, the little clouds have a little bit of Incastella, but you could barely see it probably. So that is the card, all colored with my Copic markers, and I made little masks to go to make the cloud section right here where they're sitting on. And I just wanted it to look like the Anya is petting the little unicorn. So here is the surprise. Now, there are dies and things that do this, and there's also cut in the silhouette file if you guys want to use that do this little window. But I went ahead and made my own, and of course, I have the process in this video. But I stamped the Make-A-Wish in here, and I just added... Let me see, where is my Make-A-Wish? And I just added the and pull right here. So when this person gets it, it sounds like a shaker card because it has all sorts of stuff. So I have this little tab right here. So they make a wish and they pull. Now, most people are going to assume that they have a gift card in here, but it's not. It is just, look at this is... They pull it open and all this stuff falls out. So, and in here it has the glitter bomb. So, you know, hey, if you want to totally mess with your friends and your friends and family members and have all of these, I just use sequins. These are just some sequins I got at the craft store. But you can put glitter, you can put all sorts of stuff, and you can actually put a gift card, I guess. Do I have a gift card here somewhere? You can actually fit a gift card, if I'm not mistaken, in this little section. I am not sure. Where is the little... I know I had a gift card here somewhere. So, let me see here. Okay, this is a business card. So it will fit, a little card will fit in here underneath all of the sequins. So... See, there you go. Super fun. I mean, I'm just making a mess of it. I don't know why I'm making a mess of it, but, and the cool thing is you can write write your sentiment, your information right here, your little well wishes and everything, and this can actually be reused as well. And then just make sure that you push it back in, and it holds all of the sequins in. See, and you have your glitter bomb. So that is my little card, and I just hope you guys like the idea. Go ahead and just come along, and I will show you my process. All right, come on, you guys. So here I'm starting out with just making a mask of the little unicorn from the Magical Friend stamp. I go ahead and I found these full sheet tack post-it notes. I went ahead and just stamped it on one side. The side that is rounded is the side that actually has the no sticky section that you can actually lift up. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp it, and I'm only going to cut off the left side that is actually going to be overlapping with the Starry Anya stamp. And I take great care to try not to mess it all up because I've done it in the past. So here I just go ahead and I'm going to stamp it with Memento ink on my Copic Expressive marker. And that actually, this is the paper that I do like using for my Copic markers. I've tried a few others, not all of them, but this is the one that I prefer. So now I'm going to go ahead and ink up my Starry Anya. Now I'm going to go ahead, usually I stamp once on a scratch piece of paper if I've never used these stamps. These stamps are fresh out of the box, if you will. I'm going to go ahead and just stamp overlap where I want it to overlap because I wanted Anya to look like she is petting the little unicorn on top of several clouds when we're done with this little glitter with this glitter bomb stamps card. I mean, now there are some little sections that may not have gotten a perfect impression, so I go ahead with a 0.1 Copic multiliner to fill in those little sections. And I start with the little unicorn. I color his body in with C0, C1, and C3 because I want it to be white with blue hair. And all you do is just add a little bit of shadows to any kind of white fur or white creature or any kind of white item. Really, you can do warm warm grays. I like to use these cool grays. And I like to use R30 for the blush on the cheeks and the ears because it's a lot lighter than R20. Most people like to use R20, but I wanted a light little touch. I didn't want it to be too dark. Now, the color does look a little bit more saturated, but it actually lightens up once it completely dries. Now, with the main, I use BG0000 and B000, B01. You only see two here, but I realized it was a little too light, so I went ahead and grabbed the B01 afterwards to add just a little bit of darker tone. As you can see, now it seems a little bit more alive. I wanted it to be very light but magical at the same time. I didn't want it just to fade out into nothingness. So I go back. I usually go from lighter to darker and then go back from darker to lighter to get the shading that I want. I leave the horn white also with a little bit of the touches of the C00 and C01, but afterwards I went in and I just put a little bit of colorless blender to kind of fade out the color even more. Now moving on to the dress, to Anya's dress, and these colors I used are V20, V22, and V25. I wanted to have just a little bit, I like the way the combination of blues and purples, or blues and lavenders, go together. And this is more of an airy kind of color feel that I'm going to her dress. And I love the little Starry Anya, but I want the little unicorn to be more of the focus. So with this little bit of a darker lavender tones, her dress, she kind of fades a little bit more into the background, and it has, because I wanted it all to look dimensional, where excuse me, the unicorn is all towards the front where everything is more behind it. I could have popped it out, but I wanted it to look like one full stamp. Then I'm moving on to the little boots, and there's just a little touch of E40, E42, and E43. And now the skin tone, I use the basic ones that I normally use: E quadruple zero, E triple zero, E01, E00, and again R30 for the little blush on the cheeks. I just like the way the R30 looks, and it's easier to blend out than the R20. I'm a little off to the side, as you guys can see, and I do apologize. When I start coloring, I kind of get away. I get carried away, and here you see that I noticed I was a little bit off to the side, so I bring it back to the center. And here's the R30, just to give it a little touch and blend it out. And I always blend it out with my lightest E color, which is E quadruple zero. And then I just go ahead and continue with some little touches, little accent on the eyebrows. Make sure I redo the shadows underneath the hair. Now with the hair, I wanted to try a little bit light brunette, still strawberry blonde. I don't know why I like the strawberry blonde tone. I did E30 E33 and E31. And those are a little bit of a darker ones. It gives it kind of a little caramel. Like I said, I wanted her to be a little bit lighter, a little bit more of a muted tone, so the unicorn kind of takes the focus on this little card, because I feel that glitter comes from unicorn toots. So anyway, because I was going to go with a little bit more comedic way of making a glitter bomb card, making it seem like it was a unicorn toot. But I thought it might be a little bit crass, you know. But if in the future I will make it just for fun. If you guys want to go along that one, I thought it would be funny, but not everybody will think that's funny. So I went ahead and just made it a regular glitter bomb card. And here I am just blending out all of the colors with my lighter color, the E30, to get the tone. Now, as sometimes I do get out of the lines, I do get a little bit carried away. I went ahead and got my colorless blender, my zero, and with the chisel, I go off a little bit left and right in the little sections that I feel I might have gone a little bit out of the way to correct those errors. So I go ahead and grab my glossy accents and I put it on the horn of the unicorn, both of the stars the Starry Anya has. Now this super fine glitter I got it a long time ago. It's from my stash. I don't even remember who it's by, where it's from. It's just in a little container, and I just grab a little bit with and you see it's everywhere now, but it's super fine. I dropped it on the glossy accents, and I'm just brushing away the little extras, but it sticks to the glossy accents and gives it more of an epoxy sticker look, and it gives it more of an accent than the Wink of Stella. And I went ahead and I just cut a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card front, and I went ahead and used my little odd, my funny stitched border die from Little Inker. And here I decided, you know what, I actually want to make with just using a distress ink tool, I wanted to make little shadows of clouds because I want it to look very ethereal, very very soft and whimsical. So I go ahead and stamp one with 2 clouds and then one with 1 cloud. So here I am just grabbing Pool Party ink and my blender tool, and I just place the clouds in different locations. I'm using that post-it paper again. And I always, when I start doing this, because you want to start, well, I want to start with a light hand, and then if I want it to get darker, I get darker. I always brush it off a little bit on the right hand side, I mean on a scratch piece of paper. And you can see here, I'm just going back and forth. I like to start from the top. It's usually better to start from the top because you'll get better shadows as opposed if you go from the bottom to the top. You kind of overlap a little bit more than you want to. And I'm just using the same little masks that I made for the clouds, and I'm just positioning them, moving them here and there. And the one with the two clouds, I actually just stamped it one the correct way and one upside down. Here I'm just seeing kind of where my little Anya and my little unicorn are gonna go. So then I realized we should probably cut this out. I start by cutting it out with a border like if it was a die cut, but I didn't like it at the end, and I went ahead and went back. See here I'm seeing how it looks, and I didn't particularly like the little border, so because I felt it was kind of not right in with the clouds. So here I wanted the clouds a little bit darker, and I just went ahead and grabbed my ink tool and just brushed it around the areas that were a little darker, and I'm not losing the definition of the clouds. So here I decided, hey, I also want some dimensional clouds of the little one that I used for the masks to make the sky. I went ahead and I stamped several individual ones, and as you can see, I made a mask of the single one, and I just kept using that so I can get a longer cloud section where the little unicorn and Anya is going to stand. And then I realized, hey, they can't just be white. I want to color them in, but still kind of use the colors that are in the that I got from the Pool Party ink. And I went ahead and used for the clouds, I used G quadruple zero, G triple zero, G00, and YG41. I know that was a random call, but the YG41 gave it that little touch that kind of gave it that little minty green, almost, because it's not just blue. I wanted it to have like a light teal aqua color to the sky because the unicorn's hair is blue, so I didn't want that to take away from it. And here I am just coloring them in. Once again, I go with my lighter to darker, and I tried to add, with the darker ones, I tried to add little accents where the clouds would have more more little definition on the rounded sections. And here I went ahead and grabbed my colorless blender again and just did several circles around the clouds on the intersections, so it kind of helped clear it out a little bit. And here I'm just adding some Wink Stella, which you barely can see, but I didn't want that once again to take away from the glitter from the unicorn horn and the stars. Here I'm just taking my little white jelly pens, making sure I go back over the little whites of the eyes, and a little black jelly pen to add the little cornea, just to give it more of a realistic look. As you can see here, I still have the border of the paper because after I started cutting these clouds, because I cut them also with the border. And the funny thing is, when I went back to correct my little cuts, I realized I wasn't recording. But here I am after I cut them all along the line, and I'm taking my Memento black brush marker to cover the edges, and it takes care of all those little bad looking white spots from your cutting. And I just use the brush tip to go around the entire thing to give it, to make sure that it looks like one continuous cut. And I'm also doing it to the clouds because, of course, everything's got to be done, that way it's uniform a little bit. But here are all the little clouds. Here I am looking at where it's all going to position, where I'm going to have the happy birthday. Now, yes, this is terrifying, people. I'm cutting my stamps up. I love doing this so I can get multi-uses. And I know I could mask this off, but I have a feeling I'll be using it just with the happy birthday like that. Now, I wanted it to, here I am stamping it off. I wanted to just stamp the happy birthday onto the actual stamp. Like, once again, I wanted everything to look like it's coming from a distance, and it's maybe coming towards you, or you're flying towards the little towards this scene where the unicorn is all the way to the front. Don't ask me how they got on that cloud without wings, but hey, maybe for the next stamp set, you Greeting Farm can make one with a unicorn with wings. Here I am making my card base. It's just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so I'm cutting the paper to 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 and scoring it at 4 1/4. Excuse me. Now it's time to get the inside done. I'm going to go ahead and use the Wish from the Say B-Day stamp set, the Make-A-Wish. I'm making a little pencil line so I could then add and pull. So it'll say Make-A-Wish and pull, hence the little tab that we're going to make for our little surprise glitter bomb. And once again, I just used the same Memento marker because I wanted it to match color-wise. And so now we're getting, again, the happy birthday, I'm sorry, not the happy birthday, the glitter bomb stamp from Glitter Bomb stamp set, but it says you're a glitter bomb. And Glory, I of course cut off the top of that says you are and glitter bomb. I know that's driving people crazy. But now for our little surprise glitter bomb section, we're going to cut a piece of paper 3 1/2 by 4, and you're going to draw a line around each border, which is 1/2 inch. And then on the landscape side, the sections that are 3 inches, you're going to cut on both sides, up and down, with an X-Acto knife or whatever you want to cut. And on the top part, leaving a 1/2 inch section. And you can see, here's my super duper technology. I take a nickel to draw a circle around it, the half circle, to cut it up. And there you go, you have your little flap. Now the bottom part that folds out, I just take it to my scoreboard, and I have a line drawn in the 6 inch section, 6 inch mark, and that way it makes that little trap door. Now there are little cuts that you can get from I think it's from Cameo. There's a die that does this. I think it's called Pull Tab. I'm not sure. But I don't have it, and I figured, you know what, maybe not everybody has it, and this way you can do it at home without even worrying about it. Here I am adding some dimensional foam. The reason being is that way I can add the glitter or the sequins or anything in there, and that'll hold it in, and it'll give you a little section for you to push your finger in and pull it out. Here I am just measuring it where it's going to go. Make sure you push it all the way down, but here is the little trap door for the glitter bomb. You put your sequins in there and just close it. So I'm just now adding my my card base, the card front, I'm taking care of the card front now. I like to prepare everything and then assemble. I don't know, maybe I just like it like that. And add it to here. So here I'm just gluing everything down and getting it positioned. Now let me go ahead, I'm going to put in some still shots so you guys can check it out. Here's the finished card. And of course, you guys, thank you so much for everything. Please follow me on my YouTube channel and also on Instagram, all Amador Arrows, AMADOREROS. And thanks again, everyone. Bye.